Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we go with this in transit, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, for the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son, for the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, every millstone, who rule well and teach well. Shalom to the whole full elect. And you man, your brothers pushing this word about the four corners of the earth with all truth and sincerity, making your calling and election sure, man. Hey, shalom, shalom. Right? And this is going to be in the transit going into the bitterness of this truth, because one thing that, you know, a lot of people are doing right now in this time is what? Gathering up with their families. You know, it's all nice and, you know, sweet. For a lot of people, I know, of course, you know, you got people that are out there, you know, just going through it, but for the most part, you know, it's a time of, you know, family time, coming together, whatever, under this wicked, you know, folly day, pagan day, right? Because for the most part, these people don't even know they're worshiping a pagan, you know, holiday. You know, Jesus, which you people know as, which his real name is Yahweh Shai, was born in spring, Salakia, not in the winter. And the reason you get that is because of what Esau, Edom, and that damn Gregorian calendar, man, right? They sought to, you know, to mess with the times. But nonetheless, this what comes with the bitterness of this truth, man, because you go and understand that, hey, man, for the most part, your family's not gonna make it, and it's just that real, and it sucks, you know. Not sucks, but in the flesh, it sucks, right? You're like, damn. They're cool, you know, they're chill, whatever. But the thing is, the Lord doesn't care about them. The Lord's not looking for a chill guy. The Lord's not looking for a nice guy. The Lord's not looking for someone that's just cool, right? He's looking for those that are there to serve Him, right? With all truth and sincerity, man. The elect, right? And the elect are going to be doing what? The works. And we're going against the ways of this society, man. You know, we're going to come out of my people in the book of Revelations. The 18th chapter is not going into, you know, fleeing the city. It's going and fleeing from the ways of Babylon the Great. And Babylon the Great embodies all these different captivities, man. That's why you have them worship, you know, all these different, you know, pagan gods, right? All these little quote-unquote holidays on this side that you people know as like Halloween, Thanksgiving, and, you know, Christmas, and so on and so forth. You know, Easter. You know, these are all different pagan gods that they're worshiping all in one, you know, in this one, you know, kingdom under Esau, Edom, right? So, you know, the Most High is not gonna deliver a lot of these people, man. And what are they doing when this time comes around? Salaki, I got that all flipped up. Salaki. When this time comes around, a lot of people are eating pork, you know, eating all abominable foods, man. You know, shrimp, so on and so forth, man. You know, they're just indulging in, you know, abominable foods. And in the book of Revelations, Isaiah the 65th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, or the 66th chapter, it's one of those, you know, the scriptures talk about how when the Lord returns, you know, when Yahweh returns, and He sees you, you know, still indulging and eating, you know, pork and things of that sort, He's gonna burn you, man, via those chariots. Because guess what? The Most High is not gonna give us a heads up. You know, so many people, you're gonna take the charagma and still be living life how things are, you know, going to be moving right. Still gonna be making purchases, buying and selling. The elect, they're gonna be outcast in the society, or, you know, in those FEMA camps, right, getting tested for their faith. But you other, you know, you 2/3, you're gonna be just minding your business, thinking shit sweet. You know, you took the charagma, you living in society, however they may have it, it's a bit dystopian, whatever. But you're still gonna be indulging in the food that they give you, right? The pork, the, you know, shrimp, they might, you know, lobster, whatever. They might still be giving you all these abominable foods, and you're gonna think nothing of it. And then bam, that's when the Lord's gonna come back and crack the skies, man. So hey, you know, the bitterness of this truth is, man, you know, hey, when you read the book of Ezekiel, if I'm not mistaken, it goes into how the Most High only saved, you know, Daniel, Job, and I forgot the other man of the Lord. It was one other man of the Lord. but the rest of the people in that land, they all perished of famine. But it said because of their righteousness, they shall deliver their own souls. You know, another precept that goes into this is the Most High is going to take you two of a city and one of a house, man. Just kind of giving you that similitude of how little people are going to be getting saved, man. Some of you, you know, brothers and families, you already had like 8 people in there. You know, some of you brothers have 6 people in your family, right? Some of you brothers have 7. Some, you know, and then some brothers have their own families. And guess what? Maybe only you and your son and your kids, maybe, you know, only you and your kids may make it. And Eve goes, you know, has that Lot's wife spirit on there and tries to goes back into the world and takes that charagma, and you're there like, fuck, you know? Because, hey, if you're a man of the Lord, and you have a son, he is sanctified through you, not the wife, man. Alright, so, you know, guys, you brothers gotta get that straight. You know, Eve wants to go and take that charagma, man. When shit's the fan and wants to go back in the ways of, you know, Lot's wife, so be it, man. You gotta still hold on to your faith. Because guess what? In that moment, man, when the charagma set in stone, you should know that this truth has won all the way through, because that prophecy of the mark of the beast either being put into your left hand or your forehead, and really, it's whatever hand. When you go in the book of Revelations, the 14th chapter says, he that took the mark in their hands, that charagma, the RFID microchip. So even if you take it on your right or your left, it don't matter. And if you take it on your forehead, on the side of your head, the back of your head, guess what? You still took that, you know, RFID microchip in your body, and you took the charagma. And that was prophesied 2,000 years ago, man. If this comes to, no, it's a lie, not if. But when this comes to pass, you brothers, you should already know what time it is, man. You've been going out to the highways and the byways. You've been making your lessons. You've been, you know, in the spirit. You haven't, you know, you sacrificed a lot of things in the world to push this ministry. And at that moment, it is not time for you to get weak and forget about everything that you have been doing, man. And this is what, you know, that's why in that day it should be known who am I chosen, man. Because the Most High is going to put the spirit on brothers, you know, to, you know, defeat that mark of the beast, man. Whether, you know, you're facing guillotine or you're out there in the wilderness, man. Regardless, the Most High is going to look after you, do miracles, and that's how you're going to know that, hey, you were a man of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. But nonetheless, man, it's the bitterness of this truth, man. At first, it's sweet as honey, right? You learn about, you know, the spiritual powers. You learn about, you know, deliverance, salvation. You actually know who you go back to. Your lineage goes back to. You find out you're an Israelite. The laws and statutes and commandments, they apply to you. The promises, right? The covenants, so on and so forth, right? The planets, the kingdom, you know, the kingdom being ruled in righteousness by us, right? It's that sweet as honey, man. You're like, damn, we're going to get all this, you're going to get all that, right? The women, Isaiah 4:1, so on and foremost, man, whatever. But then you find out that, hey, but you may be a martyr. Hey, you may have to fucking see your family not make it. Hey, you may have your, you know, your wife go back into the world, man, in front of you during that time of Jacob's trouble. You know, the bitterness of this truth, man, is gonna get hard. Hey, through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. Hey, you find out that you're not just gonna get fucking beamed up, right? Like the rapture and bullshit. You find out that the rapture is fake, and you're gonna have to go through the midst of this shit. And pursuant to the book of Psalms, the 91st chapter says, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold the reward of the wicked man. So you're going to be seeing these gruesome things. You're going to be seeing and witnessing in Jake's judgment and these, you know, other nations. And, you know, you're just going to have the Ruach HaKodesh on you in order for you to make it, man. Because what? This truth is not all sweet, man. And to be honest, as soon as you start serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the bitterness starts, right? Friends start looking at you crazy in the world. You know, your girl might leave you because you start serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Family, you know, they look at you sideways, so on and so forth, man. But the real test and the real temptation is going to come via that charagma, the microchip, and guess what? That's where a lot of the bitterness is going to really come from in this ministry, man. Coming into Jacob's trouble. So right now you got Jake that, yeah, you go through your day to day, you know, troubles and trials or whatever and whatnot. But it's not going to compare to when there's no fucking food, you know, there's no food on the line. There's no easy water access, and you got a lot of these faithless people gonna commit cannibalism. You got to, you know, witness that shit and make it through. You know, like the movie The Road. the bitterness is gonna really come in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Jake don't really realize it though, right? So, you know, this, and then right now you're seeing, you know, all the families come together. You know, everybody's, you know, one, and it's what I was thinking of, man. I was like, yeah, you know, this is cool and all, but the thing is, you know, Jake may not make it, bro. Jake may not make it, and you know, that's what comes with this ministry. That's what comes with this truth. That's what you signed up for when you went out to the highways and the hedges. You know, you're not selfish. You just understand the precepts. You just understand the scriptures. You have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of what it means to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. So, you know, brothers, you gotta be ready for that. And brothers gotta, you know, really have the Kakudash and pray, because, you know, it's not of us to be able to, you know, go into the kingdom or go into Jacob's trouble, and us having that strength to just say, you know, we're good, I'm good. You know, that's all Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So hey man, I just got here to my spot, my location. I don't know if this has been edifying and exhorting. I kind of just went through the spirit. So yeah, man, you know, get ready for, you know, the real bitterness of this truth to hit. You know, it's down the street. That's what I wanted to go into. So with that, hey, shalom.